Awesome. So some of you might not know, my name is Maddie. I'm a regional relationship coordinator here at Head for the Cure. I have the markets of Columbus, Wichita, St. Louis, Des Moines, Omaha, Detroit, and Chicago. Kind of a long-winded list. I'm going to go ahead and have the rest of my coworkers introduce themselves. I'm going to go across. Courtney, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you guys. My name is Courtney, and I am a regional relationship coordinator as well. So I get to plan all of our Texas markets as well as Phoenix. So coming up, we have our Austin and Dallas event, as well as our Midland, Texas event. So that's what I'm working on, and I'm excited to talk to you guys tonight.
Thanks, Courtney. Laura? Can't tell if she's okay.
Hello. Sorry, everyone. I have a kitten that's being a real pain right now that's trying to scratch everything in sight. So dealing with that. But hello, everyone. My name is Laura, and I'm the Programs and Development Coordinator for Head for the Cure. So what that means is I work on all of our fundraisers that are not tied to 5K events, so different campaigns that we have. And then also working on the Brains for the Cure program, which is our online navigator for patients, survivors, and caregivers to help them navigate everything, and working with our ambassadors, which we have 2 on tonight. So you'll get to meet in the introductions a little bit later, but thanks everyone for being here and excited to talk about different fundraising opportunities for everyone.
Thanks, Laura. Kaylin?
Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylin. I am the event logistics coordinator. So on a normal year, I manage all of the back end for all of our events. So venues, permitting, restrooms, dumpsters, all that fun stuff. And then I also do all of our graphic designs. So the medals, t-shirts, I just did our annual report, and kind of all of those items.
Awesome. Thanks, Kaylin. And Allie?
Hello, everyone. I am also a regional relationship coordinator. So I'm in charge of helping plan Orlando and Charleston, which are 2 of our events coming up this weekend and next weekend, as well as Seattle, Mid-Missouri, Cleveland, and NC Triangle. So yeah, I'm excited to see you all and have our first events of 2021 coming up.
Hey, seems like 2020 was just yesterday. So it's really strange to think that we're already on almost 2 of our 2020 events are coming close up. Then we have a board member on here. Mario, if you could introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi. I think some of you know me already. I'm a board member. I've been involved with brain cancer for 17 years. My middle son, 24 years old, passed away from brain cancer. I've done it all. I've been a team captain. I've done fundraising, marketing, PR, you name it. I wore all the hats, and glad to be of help.
Thanks. I'm sorry, Cheryl. I'm not used to you having that background, so I totally just missed you as I was glazing past.
That's quite all right. I'm Cheryl. It's so nice to see everybody. I'm so excited to get this all started. I am the office manager, and I handle all things to keep Head for the Cure going, as well as a lot of the financial input stuff is mine, and then memorials are a big responsibility. I answer memorial submissions, and I help people through the process. And in the background, and since the pandemic, I have been kind of the helper-outer with everything that needs to be shipped and packaged and off into the world. So it's been very interesting, but I'm so excited to see everybody. So.
Yay. I know, it's nice to see everyone.
If I get really distracted, it's because I have 2 cats that both just woke up. So they're like looking at me like, and what are you doing? So
yeah, like pay attention to me. All right, we're gonna start with our panelists for tonight. John, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is John Haji, and I'm over here in Detroit, Michigan, and I am a team captain for Head for the Cure, and also I run a nonprofit organization called Giving the Dollar, and Head for the Cure hits home for me. I have a sister who passed away 2 years ago from brain cancer, and have tried to get my feet wet in all types of events and fundraisers and nonprofits during her diagnosis and until this day.
Thank you so much, Sean. We're so happy to have you here and have you part your wisdom on us. All right, and then our other panelist, Kelly.
Sorry, had to get unmuted. Hi, my name's Kelly. I live in Gainesville, Florida. My husband recently passed in April of glioblastoma. And we are holding an event this weekend called Beer for Brains. We're hosting it at a local brewery, and they're going to give us 20% of sales. We're selling cups, we're selling t-shirts, we're raffling off a guitar signed by Sister Hazel. And all of the proceeds are we started a scholarship fund in my husband's name, and then the rest is going to Head for the Cure. So we're super excited. It's going to be a little bit cold on Saturday, but I think we'll have a good turnout, and it's an outdoor event. So they're letting us hold it. So we're excited about
awesome. Yay, that's great to hear. And then another panelist, Melissa.
Hey, I am Melissa Horn. I'm with Team Tanner out of Charleston. My sister is here somewhere too, Denise Lebeck. We both actually kind of co-captain Team Tanner in honor of my dad, who we lost last May to glioblastoma. This is our second year doing Head for the Cure. So this one's definitely different with doing everything virtually. But really proud of our team and what we've done. We're going to talk a little bit about a farm K.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Can't wait to hear it. And then we also have our panelist, Eric, and with his wife, Sarah. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Great. So we're originally from St. Louis. Sarah was diagnosed with brain cancer in 2014. So we are, what is that, going on our 7th year. So we started off with Head for the Cure about a month after diagnosis. One of her friends had passed away from grade 4. And then a couple of years ago, we moved down here, and we're in Jacksonville, Florida now. So there was not an event in Jacksonville, but we wanted to still be a part of the community and do what we could. So last year we did our first neighborhood 5K, very small operation, but that was connected with the Orlando 5K that's going to be happening this weekend. So does that mean we won the 5K because we were the first one?
I like that logic. All right, then we do have a couple of ambassadors. Anna, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Anna. I was diagnosed with a brain tumor when I was 12, so my 5-year anniversary is actually coming up, I think, next week. I've been involved with Head for the Cure for about 4 years now, and I am the team captain of Team Anna in North Texas.
Awesome. Thank you, Anna. And then our ambassador, Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I am a 7-year survivor of a ganglioglioma brain tumor. My family, I have a lot of family that lives in St. Louis, so we do the St. Louis race and the Kansas City race because I live here in Kansas City. So this is my, I think, 6th year involved with Head for the Cure. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Lisa. Sorry, my headphones just by chance decided to die right at the beginning of a meeting. You know, that's just the way life is now, I think. All right, and Steve, if you could introduce yourself.
Sure. Steve Hamilton, part of the North Texas contingent, team captain for Hamilton's Heroes. We run for my son, who is year 2, I guess, after having his glioblastoma removed. So just that's what we're running for down here.
Awesome. Thank you, Steve. And Denise, do you have anything else to add? I know your sister Melissa already talked.
No, not really. I think she has pretty much said everything. We just last year was our first year with Head for the Cure after my dad had been diagnosed, and then he did pass away last past May, but we wanted to stay involved, and probably will do this for years and years to come. So we just think it's a wonderful organization, and want to do our best to raise money.
Thank you. We appreciate that. I met you guys at Packet Pickup at Charleston and all that last year, so it was great to see you guys and have you all there. Great team turnout. And we have Christina from Detroit.
Hi there. So I'm based in Michigan, and we did the Detroit walk 2 years ago when my mom was still living. She had a astrocytoma but passed away in December of 19. And then we did the race virtually this last fall, and actually merged our team with a family friend whose wife and mom had passed away from a glioblastoma 14 months prior to my mom passing. So
thank you. Then Sherry.
Hey guys, calling you from North Texas, and I'm involved in the North Texas event, which is in May. And yeah, glad to see you all here. Exciting stuff ahead.
Yeah. Thank you all for joining us today. We have a couple questions for our panelists to answer. So if you guys have any other questions, kind of like sub questions for it, just feel free to raise your hands, and one of us will call on you, just so that we don't have everyone talking all at once. That can get a little difficult. So our first question is, what made you decide on your type of third-party event? Panelists, you can go whenever. Okay, Melissa.
Take it. So for us, we're from the upstate of South Carolina, and Charleston, which is where my dad got his primary care and where the race is actually in, is about 3 hours away. So last year when we did it, we had a nice little weekend excursion, went down to the beach, had a great time. And this year when it was like everything's virtual, we were kind of bummed because we actually did the race. I think we were one of the few races that actually happened last year. So at first we were really bummed about, not being able to take that trip and getting to, be around everybody, understandably. And this year it was just kind of something we're like, well, we probably can get more participation if we do something locally. My sister said, we could have something at the farm. So our dad had a ranch, and then my mom lived on a ranch, has a nice amount of property. And so we just thought, this is going to be a better thing for us because people will be local, we'll be able to get a bigger turnout instead of people having to travel, but still have some way to do something. And then for it to be part of his property and where he worked so many hours and his animals were there, it ended up being perfect. So that's kind of why we decided. And at first we were just saying, farm, 5K, at the farm, that sort of thing, but it kind of turned into Farm K. So that's kind of how that ended up happening.
I like that. That's very creative. Any of our other panelists like to share?
Yeah, I'll share. Our first, so we've been doing Head for the Cure since 2017, and in 2018, Head for the Cure happened it was actually just like 3 weeks after my sister had passed away. And we had actually had a huge turnout. We had about 70 plus people do the walk with us in Detroit. And in the years before, we had, I think, like 10 to 20 people do the walk with us, but my sister always did it with us. And so going into 2019, we knew that the landscape obviously had changed for everyone. But everybody, all 70 people, were texting and emailing us and saying, we want to do something. And of course, we wanted to do something that was going to bring everybody together in a very safe way. And so we instantly thought of doing something during the summer months where it would be outside. And we actually kind of polled everybody and just had like this survey that went out to everybody. all of our friends and family and those who participated and said, like, what would you want to do that you feel would be fun and that you know you'd want to participate in? Because of course we wanted it to be a big turnout, and it was like an overwhelming throw a golf event, just have a golf outing. And so that was one of the reasons why we decided to do a golf outing. And there was no rhyme or reason. I'm a golfer, my brother's a golfer. So for us, it was just like an easy, yeah, let's do it. But it was kind of like off of a poll, and it worked well. That we'd gotten some overwhelming feedback that, like, yeah, we want to participate in it. And that's what really made us want to do a kind of like a third party event. And we lined it up where it happened just weeks before the actual virtual 5K. So that way, anybody that wanted to participate in the 5K virtually, they'd still be able to do that.
Yeah. So what were some of the other options that you gave on your survey?
It was open.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was
letting the freedom
open
to the people, giving them the power.
Yeah, we left it open to people, and it was just more people had, we saw, I mean, there were some people who were like, just, host a picnic at a local park. It was everything was outdoors during the summer. We knew that we wanted to do it during the summer months. It's warm over here in Michigan, and we figured that there would be less restrictions by doing something outdoors versus indoors. And so that was kind of like the only thing that we asked was like, think of something to do outside. And there was just more people were responding back with that.
Mm-hmm. Eric or Kelly, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I do. So last year we started the brewery event because Jeremy was unable to travel to the race last year. He ran the race the first year, and then last year he had deteriorated so much we couldn't go. So the last week we planned very quickly an event at the brewery, and the brewery was very welcoming. It was local. We had, I think, over 150 or 200 people there. And they were very gracious, and we do like to drink beer. So that helps. And people show up when you sell beer. So, and we had lots of people that donated, and we just had a couple of vendors, so we're trying to make it an annual event. And then since we're not doing the races, since we're doing them virtually, and we're trying to get the Huskins involved too, who live locally with us too. So for us, it was just doing a local event that brought people in, and live music and beer, and just a good time to hang out and celebrate. So
that's awesome. Eric? I'm calling you.
Calling on me? Yeah, well, I mean, really last year, I think with all the COVID stuff happening, me and another father got out and we were just trying to like train and run with our kids and trying to get them, it was like stay at home PE, right? So just trying to get them out of the house and being fit. And I think somebody had mentioned doing something like having a charity 5K, and in our neighborhood down here, I'm on the board of directors, so it's kind of one of those things that we like, what can we do that's a community event that can kind of bring our neighborhood together? I was like, well, I got an idea. So we had a pretty nice green space up in the front of our neighborhood, and so we just did as best we could to kind of emulate what a normal Head for the Cure 5K would look like. We had like pop-ups and music and everything, and I don't know, we had drinks and desserts and stuff like that. But
sing the national anthem.
Sing the national anthem, very official. But it was a really great time, and like all the neighbors just really loved like coming out for it, and everybody kind of wants to do it again. So
we got the shirts and medals for everyone too, which was nice.
Yeah. Remember that you guys had a great turnout because we used your pictures in the St. Louis event as well.
Oh, nice.
That's awesome. All right, and then our next question is, what do you think is the most important first step of a third-party fundraiser? Like getting started, what do you think is like the most important thing to keep in mind?
I'll jump in. All right. This also kind of plays off of us kind of polling everybody, but I think just the receptiveness of those who would be attending a fundraiser for us before putting any work into the planning and the logistics and getting it all set up. It was making sure that because we wanted a really good turnout. We wanted a lot of people to be involved, and we wanted a lot of people to show up. So for us, it was making sure that we coordinated with our community, our friends, our family, everybody who participated in Head for the Cure for our team in the past were down, were available. And once we knew that we had like this soft commitment, if you will, from you know, a bunch of people. In this case, it was, you know, 70 plus people. Once we knew we had that soft commitment, then it was easy for us to kind of then work out the logistics and figure out the planning and getting out the date. So for us, I think that was the first thing that we wanted to do, was just make sure that our friends, family, community members, those who are interested in support us in the past would be interested.
That's awesome. Anyone else like to add? No, Eric,
yeah,
sorry.
That's a great point, because I think we planned our event kind of around a holiday, so we knew people would kind of be in town and I guess have like the Monday off or something like that. So yeah, definitely picking the date and making sure you have people interested, like a core group and a venue, is definitely key.
Awesome. Yes, very important things. Anyone else like to add, or we can move on to the next question?
I'll just kind of copy what they said as well. One of the things that we did last year was we made a private Facebook group that was from last year's team. So instead of kind of putting everything out there for everyone, we actually did ask the people last year who made the trip down to Charleston. And that was exactly where we started with trying to do this. We're like, you know, put that information just in that specific group, wanting to make sure that we had the people who we had last year. And then from there, knowing that we, you know, had agreements and yes, let's do this, you know, from there we moved on to planning other things.
That's a good idea. Always making your own little Facebook so you make sure everyone's up to date on everything. All right, and then our next question is, what advice would you give someone starting their own third-party fundraisers? Anything you guys wish you would have known when you started out, or something you always just want to make sure when someone starts out that they keep this in mind?
Okay, I'll raise my hand again. John. One thing that was really, really important to us, and something that we will probably make a clear point when hosting our events, is I think a lot of people are, I don't use the term weary, but like there's some sort of stat out there where 15% of people don't give back to charities or don't participate in fundraisers, and really because they just don't know if what they're doing is truly making an impact or if they're really helping out. And so for us, it was about, in every way possible, showcasing the impact that we were making by participating in Head for the Cure, showcasing the impact that we were making in the donations that we were given to Head for the Cure Foundation, and making it very clear and evident to people that what we were doing was making a positive impact. And that just kind of provides, for us, I felt like it provides kind of like this trust and confidence in what we were doing to like the community and the audience, or our family members and friends that were like attending our event. So I think with this, I think making an impact and making sure that you're showcasing that impact to during your event is important.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And we have some great like information, especially kind of like a weird topic, but like our sponsorship packets, we kind of lay out what all we kind of donate towards, especially with our local markets. And last year we were able to donate all of our grants, and even some of them got the same grants as the previous year, which was really awesome to be able to give back to the community in that, and kind of helping drive home that point that even though you don't really see it up front, it's still happening.
Yep.
So we, like Melissa, we had a neighborhood Facebook page. It's for our neighborhood, but obviously when we created the event for the 5K, we put it on there. And I think the advice is really just over communication on it. So somebody might not sign up for an event that's going to be happening in 6 months, but you start now, start getting it out there, create the event, and just keep reminding people, set goals. So like, let's see if we can get like 50%, like, you know, people engaged, or even like the financial side of things. You know, we're up to X amount of dollars. Let's see if we can get to Y amount of dollars, something like that. So I mean, really, and as the event starts to get closer, just try to build inertia to that event. So there's, you know, up the post a little bit, and just kind of put in like some deadlines where it's like, hey, listen, before, you know, to get a shirt or be guaranteed a medal, you know, if you sign up for this day, then you're kind of guaranteed that. But again, just following up with friends and making it fun, making it be like, hey, this is something you're gonna have a good time doing. It's something that you're gonna want to be a part of, and I think that's how you build that inertia and really create a big event for the whole team. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, making sure that everyone's aware of it, especially with the whole numbers kind of like edging them on. We're like, we're so close. And then you never know who all's going to donate last minute and then change all the stats. And you get, I don't know, like biggest fundraising team, biggest team. Gotta make it competitive so people participate. Anyone else like to add anything they wish they would have known or advice for others? All right, I know you guys. Yeah, sorry, Melissa.
No, I'm sorry. It took me a minute to unmute. I would say use your friends for their talents. For example, I have a friend who's a photographer. I just begged her, please just come do this for us. So we didn't have to worry about, you know, doing our own pictures, that sort of thing. We kind of did drawings at the end. I asked friends who have their own small businesses for like different things that we kind of gave away as drawings just to make it fun for the people who were there. So yeah, they may get, you know, it may get on their nerves at some point in time, but definitely if you have a good relationship with somebody, use their talents.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I'm not good at photography, so I would definitely want someone, and then that way everyone can go and enjoy the event, but you're still getting captured and can send it to us so we can post it on social and during the event. And then I know you guys have already touched on a little bit with Facebook, but what are some other ways that you've promoted your event?
One of the things that we did actually in, you know, obviously social media and friends and family and just being kind of relentless to reach out to friends and family. One of the things that we did though is we reached out to our community who reached out to some of our local churches and had like announcements. Usually at the end of our masses, there were like announcements, and we were included in those announcements, and those were like reminders on a weekly basis, I think for about a month leading up to it. So we just kind of like tapped into our community and thought of who in our community in terms of like organizations and that could help kind of spread the word. And then also we were doing an outing at a local club. And so it was also getting like the director of the club to be like, hey, can you send out some sort of an announcement to all the club members and, you know, those on your email list in some way to kind of promote this event. You know, even if we knew that we had a capacity because of COVID, even though it was outdoors, we could only have like 72 golfers. We couldn't have like the full 100 something, but that we knew that if we exceeded the 70 something golfers, that some people would still want to donate and give back to our cause. And so it was just having them also help promote the event as well. So leaning on the community and thinking about them.
That's awesome. That's an excellent point with having the place you're having and also promote as well and kind of raise awareness as well. Anyone else like to add how they have had promoted their event? If I could talk tonight. All right, and then what were some of the difficulties? Oh, is someone going to talk? Sorry. No, we're good. What were some of the difficulties that you guys came across with doing your third-party event?
Weather. Weather's a difficult thing. Okay. Trying to plan around the weather has been difficult, but you just hope it works out.
That's very true for all like the kind of like the winter and summer events can either be really cold or it can be just way too hot for anyone to want to go outside. I feel like it's going to be the two extremes this year. It'll be fun. Anyone else like to add any difficulties that they've come across that they'd like to share, how they came across them or how they overcame those difficulties? And then our other question is there anything that Head for the Cure can do to help you plan for an event or get started? Is there anything additional that we can send out or anything that you think might be helpful for us to share more of?
Do you all mail flyers for like postcard flyers when the race is coming up to people who have participated?
It's like postcard, are you talking like in the mail, like a little postcard or?
Yeah.
I do not believe we do that. We have had some issues with our printer recently getting stuff out. So we've mostly been relying on digital formats. I know I have sent out a couple of special flyers for different teams that say like join my team, and I'll have the team name and like a picture for them to give out to their friends or post on social. So then they get those team memberships and kind of build their team. So that's another option, or we can send you a digital file to have printed at like a FedEx store or UPS or Office Max. Anything else you guys can think of, and we'll open it up to everyone.
Oh, Maddie, I was going to say for one of my events in Midland, they do a huge golf tournament and they do yard signs. So she, goes to whichever printer that she wants to work with that year. And there's something, really good about a small community like that, to have something visual in people's yards, that whether it's the 5K event or her golf tournament that she does every year. But it helps kind of people, get the word around in a different way.
Yeah, that's fine. I hadn't thought about that. I know we do some of those for like our Kansas City one, just because most of us are in Kansas City. But that's a smart idea and kind of a good way to raise awareness, especially because even just sharing on social, you only get like those certain people in your friends group unless someone shares it. So that's another great option, kind of like the church, to kind of expand it and get other people that are in your community interested in something that supports local.
Maddie, I was gonna let people know something else that we can provide. Right. Well, I didn't want you to be like, why is Laura talking over me? Something else we can provide, Melissa, you mentioned getting kind of prizes from your friends and stuff. We can provide a donation request letter that's on, Head for the Cure letterhead and kind of, looks official. We've had some people where they, go to a restaurant or a store or something and ask for these donations, and the store thinks like, no, you're just trying to take this for yourself and not use it for, a charitable cause. So we can provide those letters for you if you're wanting to take that with you to have, a little bit more credibility towards your solicitations. But that is something that we can get you if prizes are a part of your event.
Yeah, that's excellent. Did you have a question for our panelists that I just thought of? What is your favorite memory from your third-party event? So John's thinking off to the side, huh?
Yeah. And the only thing that comes to mind is, well, for one, there's this awesome picture of 80 of us guys and gals just on the golf course, which is really to kick off the golf tournament. But my fondest memory of that day was there was a longest drive tournament at when the whole round was over, and we've all had some dinner, and everyone was like, oh, let's do a longest drive. And there was a longest drive tournament, and I was in it with 10 other guys, and I'm not a long driver at all. But it was the first hole of our course, and the way that it was, it's like a really hard dog left, but where it's curves over to the left. And so we had gone probably 10 people, 3-4 rounds, because no one could get on, you had to land on the actual fairway, and no one could land on the fairway. And we had spent 30 minutes and no one could land on the fairway. And finally somebody had won, and they only had poked it 150 or 200 yards. They didn't even try. They were just let me just get on the green because everybody is going to miss, or get on the fairway because everybody's a miss. And that's how the person won the longest drive tournament. So that was kind of fun.
That is really cool. I would be that person and be like, let me just try, because I'm like, I haven't really think of what is longest drive.
Strategy was in their favor that day.
Yes, it was. Does anyone else have a favorite memory from their event that they'd like to share?
I guess mine, so we had some runners in the front that did their thing. And the majority of us were the walkers in the back. We had our own little party, including my sister and my mom. And I even talked to some of my girlfriends about it today. And just that feeling of community and just, I mean, it was, you know, probably an hour of us walking in my parents' fields. We had dogs running around and jumping under fences and just us laughing. I mean, it's kind of the whole day when you kind of think of it that way. But especially after this year and people not being together, I really think that's probably my most favorite memory of the whole thing. We actually had little mile markers set up and little arrows set up, and we were all just taking turns. Okay, it's your turn to have a selfie with this arrow, or okay, now it's you and this one. So, I mean, you know, we have those memories and photos too. But I think it was just that being together. And like I said, with my mom and my sister too.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. It's so nice to have third-party events, especially since some of our events, they're so large that we aren't able to hold them. That those third-party events are a little bit smaller, that you're still able to create those memories that could have been created during the 5K event, but even just, it really helps that community aspect and building bonds. So I love it. That's why I wanted to know what everyone's favorite memory was. Does anyone else like to share? Or we can open it up to everyone to ask questions.
For us, we moved down here 2.5 years ago. And so when we had our event, Sarah's parents came down. So we had some family here. But one of the things that was really cool for me is, like, you know, when we moved down here, we didn't know anybody, and being able to put on an event and have, I don't know how many people were there, almost like 30 or 40, 40 people show up. I mean, I was really proud of like our community, and especially with Sarah's parents there. It made me feel like they knew that we were taken care of down here, and that we had a community that was supportive of Sarah and really Head for the Cure. So that was pretty cool.
That's so great to hear. I just moved away from my parents, so like a 2-day trip away. So it's really nice to hear that you're able to build such a great, awesome community there. Does anyone have any questions for our panelist?
I do, just maybe a general question. Because when we had thought about hosting this like third-party fundraiser, it was maybe just like a month, I think 2 months before us actually hosting this event. And so I guess my question to everyone else who's held the event is, like, when do they start thinking about planning for it? Like, is there like a certain time cadence that they've found to work well, 3 months, 6 months, as we go into 2021? I guess it could be different too for everybody, depending on the event that they're hosting.
I think it was maybe, I don't know, was that like October that we found out that this was going to be virtual?
Yeah, I think it was around that time.
For the February.
It seems like forever ago.
Yeah, that was kind of, right. Yeah. So that's kind of when we're like, okay, we're just going to do something here. But as far as the planning, like the specifics and mapping out the course and doing this, that, and the other, it was probably a month before. It was after the holidays, and we did this February 6th. So it was about 4 weeks of actually planning.
Now you just like Head for the Cure post events in advance for those that are hosting third-party events. I believe you guys did, but
I'm not sure.
As long as we're aware of them, yes. Yeah. Sometimes we have people who host events and then we get a check randomly and we don't know that the event was hosted. But yeah, if you guys let us know in advance, John, since you're tied to Detroit, you kind of work with Maddie more, Melissa works with Allie. So if you let your event coordinator know that the event's happening, we will happily put it onto our event calendar and help promote it for you. As just have to tell us about it.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and additionally off of that, if you guys need any promotional material you need made, we can always make that with the details that you have for the event to kind of help you out and make it a little less stressful. We'll basically help out as much as we can without actually being there, being like the venues or someone's contact, but we'll do basically all that we can do to help because we're really excited just to have another community factor and everyone coming together in a safe way.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
It sounds like you guys did a really great job of bringing everyone together and raising awareness and stuff. Can I ask how much money it actually brought in? Did you guys like ask for donations, or did you pay more for the golf, or how did the brewery thing work? I'd be interested in some of the specifics money-wise and how that impacted your event. Or if that wasn't a big focus either, was it just getting people together?
I think our focus was just getting people together. And then the brewery was gracious enough to decide on what percentage they decided to give us. And I think it was based on their sales too. And we were their highest sales day since they had opened. So then they were much more willing to do this more frequently. But yeah, they gave me 10% last year, and this year they're giving me 20.
Oh, wow.
So yes. So we're appreciative of that.
Yeah, I will say for us, it was twofold. We wanted to obviously draw in as many supporters as possible to the event, but also raise as much money as possible. And so there was, you know, whatever the golf and dinner was, I think we tacked on $50 on top of that. And so the $50 on top of the golf and dinner went towards Head to the Cure. And then every hole had a different sponsor. And so there was sponsorship fees on every hole. We ran 50-50 raffles. And so we ran two different type of raffles. One was prize driven. I think we had like 8 different prizes donated to us. And then another raffle was a 50-50 pot, where someone would get 50% of the raffle. And I also run a nonprofit organization, and where on a monthly basis, our subscribers donate $1. And so every month we take however many subscribers we have on the monthly basis and all their dollars, and 100% of that is also given back to a specific charity. And so we kind of combined our 700 something subscribers dollars and took that 700, added to the golf outing total, and then we gave it all back.
Yeah, you guys did awesome last year, and it was really cool to hear about the Give a Dollar campaign as well.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any questions? Any comments? Love it when all I see is mute screens. Talking to myself. All right, well, if you guys don't have any other questions, or if you come up with any later, feel free to contact your regional relationship coordinator, and we'll be happy to pass those along to our panelists and share the answers with you and with others as well. But since we have no other questions, I will let you guys all go and you can enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. And let's hope for another exciting year with 2021. And if you guys want, you can tune in. Oh my gosh, you can tune in this weekend and see Orlando virtual 5K, or you can tune in next weekend and see Charleston's 5K. And just keep Allie in your thoughts.
Yeah, Melissa and Kelly too.
Yep.
And Denise.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your night, and I'll send you guys a recap email tomorrow morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, everyone.